Alright, before we get started, I want to thank the sponsor of this video. This video is brought to you by Raycon. Raycon earbuds, no stranger to the channel, the slick, stylish, true wireless earbuds that remain, to this day, my workout earbuds. But they're useful for a variety of reasons. You want to listen to a podcast or music, because you can. They're discreet, no dangling wires or stems, so they don't make it weird. And as always, they offer 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact design that gives you a nice noise isolating fit. They come in a variety of colors, so whatever your flavor is, you do you. And among that, they have a 45-day free return policy. It's something with me. I always appreciate a good return policy. So click the link in the description or go to buyraycon.com/Johns to get 15% off your Raycon purchase. And as always, thank you once again to Raycon for sponsoring this video. I do appreciate it. All right, now another week, another episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I believe it's episode 5. Yeah, 5. And there's a spoiler warning for episode 5 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Hold on, I gotta make sure it's episode 5. Hey, look at that, it's 5. But regardless, okay, spoiler alert for this episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Moving on. This episode was kind of like I don't want to say it was a chill episode, because it actually was heavy, just thematically speaking, in terms of some conversations. Also started out with a fight, a three-way fight between Johnny Walker, Bucky, and Sam. You know, after Johnny Walker bludgeoned and killed somebody, then this fight was pretty intense, but that's the intensity you get in terms of physical activity. Regardless, Johnny Walker goes down and he is discharged. How did they say it? It wasn't dishonorable discharge. It was like other than honorably discharged or something like that. And before the fight actually went down, Sam was, of course, talking Johnny Walker down, because that's what Sam does. I mean, that was kind of his job, you know? He was like, no, I work with vets and I can do this. But he's talking what's-her-face down in the previous episode. He's talking Johnny Walker down in this episode. Always goes wrong. Something always happens where a fight breaks out. But, you know, Sam tries. I did kind of scratch my head. It's like, why does this lady sound like Agatha Harkness? What was her name? Like Allegra Fontaine or something like that? I don't know what it is. Like, are they just like, all right, well, you know, you're this super sassy, maybe villain, maybe not villain, but just talk like someone tried to write an Aaron Sorkin character. Talk like Agatha Harkness. There you go. She sounds just like Agatha, to the point where I'm like, maybe she's Mephisto. Bummer is Zemo's gone now, I guess. Bucky hands him over to Wakanda. So that's Zemo. Kind of a bummer he didn't have more to do in the show. It's like he came in and he was intriguing, and the memes just flooded the internet, and they were like, all right, that's enough memes. We got our circulation for those weeks. Bye, Zemo. And after all that, really, it's just this episode kind of winds down, and weirdly, that was my favorite part of all of it. Bucky and Sam are working on the boat, you know, doing some hard work, getting some brewskis going. I was like, I don't know, just seems like a pretty cool day, hanging out, doing some hard work, chilling with friends and family, flirting with your friend's sister. Respect to all of it. After all the excitement, it's good to see people, you know, let their hair down, kick their feet up. I did like Sam and Bucky bonding over shield throwing. It was like a couple people throwing a baseball. Like, I guess adults don't do that when they talk. They throw back beers. It's like a father and son tossing a baseball, bonding time, only it's Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But I did like a couple of points brought up, because Sam was like, hey, what would Steve think? It doesn't matter what Steve thought, or it doesn't matter what Steve would think, however he phrased it. Because I always think of that. I'm always like, what would Steve think? In fact, what does Steve think? What does Steve think about there being a new Captain America out there? What does Steve think about the fact that the friend he gave the shield to is not him? I feel like Steve would poke his head out of whatever retirement home he's in, and he would give his 2 cents. Or maybe not, I don't know, but Sam was like, Steve's gone. That's what I was like. Wait, he's not playing bingo and eating tapioca pudding? What do you mean he's gone? Is he dead? Did he die? What do you mean gone? So I have questions and more questions, but I also agree the fact that it's like, how to phrase it. I understand you want to do honor to Steve Rogers, but in the end, the choices are yours. And that's really, this episode hammers that home a lot. Also seen with the conversation between Sam and Isaiah Bradley. I like that conversation because it shows a lot of the layers of Sam. Like, Sam is struggling. Sam has the weight of the world on his shoulders, trying to do right by his sister, their legacy, their family legacy, and now Isaiah Bradley. He wants to do right by everyone. This juggling act just seems like an impossibility, but I feel like he will find a way. And in that conversation with Isaiah, you see a couple of very important things there. One, you see that quality of character of Sam. He wants to understand where this guy's coming from, but also you can tell that he doesn't see the world how Isaiah sees it. Which is a very important thing that this illustrates. The fact that you can see and understand where someone's coming from without living it through their eyes, you know, without living their perspective. That's a very human thing. It's a very human thing to address that you find in many human interactions, just not online. Don't look for it there. You won't find it. And then Sam with the training montage. No more softball, frisbee throwing. This was some hardcore training where it's like, no, Sam is going, he's going for it. Sam's working to be Cap. Then Bucky drops it. Well, I mean, Bucky already dropped off this suitcase. He tells Sam, he drops off the suitcase. He's like, I called in a favor with the Wakandans. Which I was like, called in a favor? I don't think that's how calling in a favor works. How did that work? Was Wakanda like, hey, Bucky, we fixed your brain? And Bucky was like, great. I'll call in a favor so you can make it up to me. I just don't think that's how that works. Pretty sure he owes them one. Regardless, they treat this case like the briefcase from Pulp Fiction or something. You want to see what's in it, but you just don't get to. In which I'm thinking new Falcon wings or new Captain America suit. You imagine that? Captain America suit, but vibranium cloth. Falcon America flying around with his new wings and a cap shield with a new suit. Strike fear in the hearts of criminals everywhere. Speaking of criminals, and that one girl and her crew, they show up again. You know, the ones that I don't really care about. Felt like they were shoehorned into this show, kind of like how Zemo was, but at least Zemo provided memes. Anyhow, it did crack me up. It's cracked me up the fact that I'm pretty sure Sharon Carter's the power broker, right? Internet sniffed that out in like 2 seconds. They're like, oh, a power broker. Who? Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Sharon Carter. Damn it. Thought we were more slick than that. I mean, it hasn't really been confirmed. But it looks like it's her. Anyhow, they're all hanging out in the park, and this guy drops off, again, another suitcase. Looks like it has weapons or something in it. The main girl, you know, the main super soldier, terrorist girl's friend is like, we're working with criminals now? She brings up a good point. She's like, haven't you heard? We are criminals. Also, I've bombed places and bombed people and killed them. So yeah, you've been working with a murderer all this time. But yeah, go ahead. Posture the moral high ground here. You posture enough moral superiority, we're going to change your name to Disney. So alright, we'll be back to action, taking out the criminals I don't really care about that much because Zemo's gone. Looks like he's out of the picture, so all we're left with are the boring folks. But it gives Sam a reason to gear up and take him out. In which case, I hope Bucky's still a part of it. Looks like Bucky just kind of was like, alright, peace. Bye, Sam. Maybe we're gonna go on another side quest because Sam lectures Bucky. He was like, tough love, you gotta put in the work, you know? You've been fighting, you've been an avenger, you know? You've been avenging, thinking it'll help you out, but it hasn't. You need to make the people you've wronged feel good. You gotta make them feel better. In which case, is he gonna talk to that one dude whose son he totally killed as the Winter Soldier? That makes me nervous thinking about it, man. That gives me cold sweats. Like, how do you even start that conversation? You knock on the door like I have something to tell you. We found the one who murdered your son. We threw him into outer space. Good talk, bye. That's gonna be a rough conversation right there. That's gonna be the Sebastian Stan Emmy piece. That's gonna be the clip. So in the end, among all the fights and the avenging, this episode was more down to earth. And I actually really dug that. Calm before the storm, most likely, absolutely. Gonna be with the villains I don't care about. That's kind of a bummer. But it'll be neat to see what's in that suitcase and what Sam looks like when he's geared up to be Captain America. Is Johnny Walker just out? Doubt it. Dude still has super serum pumping through his veins. Pretty sure he's just gonna go rogue and he believes he's Captain America. Ooh, that's what's gonna happen. Super lame terrorist organization's gonna rise up and then Johnny Walker's gonna be like, I'm still Captain America, and Sam's gonna have to fight him and he's gonna fight him in front of everybody with cell phones, and people are gonna be like, Sam is Captain America. All right, that's how it's probably gonna end. I don't know for sure, but I don't know. That's my headcanon right now. Until next week. Next week when we find out the truth. That it was all Mephisto. All right, so episode 5 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.